For the Western Cherokee Indians, the Trail of Tears ran out at Tahlequah, Oklahoma. Today, this town stands as the capital of the Cherokee Nation. It's also where my people opened a little school more than 130 years ago to save orphaned and abandoned children. My name is Mellissa Catron. I went to school here from 1997 to 2000. It's the first time I've been back to a basketball game since I played ball. Nowadays, I hear people refer to my alma mater as going from a school of last resort to a school of choice. To me, it's always been both. Going here has meant you've either had a tough life already, or you're looking for a challenge. These days, you not only have to keep good grades,
divided by 4.
You also have to stay out of trouble, and you have to join in extracurricular activities, like girls' basketball, which taught me that hard work learned on the court reflects a history of hard work at this school. And you've always had to be an American Indian. Before going to school here, I didn't know much about my Indian heritage. Now, I want you to know the story of my school, the story of surviving the odds and fighting for success. I want you to know that this is Sequoyah's house. Sequoyah fans are rolling into Tulsa, Oklahoma to see the Lady Indians take on the Cassia Hall Lady Commandos in the first game of the season. As fans settle in, the girls suit up.
Don't sit back and let them come to you. You pick them up at half court and make them sweat.
Everyone is anxious to see if this will be another winning season, even though there aren't any seniors on the team this year. Cassia beat us my senior year in the first round of the state tournament, so I'm glad the girls are crushing them tonight.
4 low.
Sports have always been a big focus on campus, but until more important things could be taken care of, sports couldn't be Sequoyah's main focus. First, they had to save the children.
Go, team on 3. 1, 2, 3. Team!
Ain't got no mama now.
According to Cherokee Nation literature, after the Civil War, more than 1/4 of Cherokee children were orphans. So in 1872, the Cherokee National Council opened the Cherokee Orphan Asylum.
In some societies, if somebody couldn't take care of themselves, they were taken out and either killed or they had to fend for themselves. And the Cherokees didn't want to do that, and so they started the institution here that would take care of the handicapped, and then the orphan asylum up in Salina.
You don't need no mama, no how.
In 1903, fire destroyed the orphanage. Cherokee territory would soon turn into the state of Oklahoma, and there was no money to rebuild.
We're getting close to statehood. This was 1903 and statehood was coming up. And so they could either say, we'll wait and we'll let the government take over and these kids can kind of fend for themselves, or we need to find another place and we need to find it in a hurry.
So they found what was available, the Cherokee Insane Asylum in Tahlequah. Patients were moved to a local jail and the kids moved in. 11 years later, the U.S. government took over all Indian affairs and purchased the orphanage for $5,000. In 1925, the Bureau of Indian Affairs began admitting children from all Indian tribes and changed the school's name to the Sequoyah Orphan Training School. Jack Brown was superintendent of Sequoyah schools from 1923 to 1953. His daughter, Miss Marion Brown Hagerstrand, remembers a time before the name change, learning cheers with the pep squad.
When I was little, the pep squad would take me out there, and I'd be at the end of the line. Now, it was all Cherokee at that time, so I remember them saying, Choctaw, Chickasaw, Seminole Creek, Cherokee, Cherokee, can't be beat. And then they opened the school up to the 5 tribes.
Today, it's a source of pride for the school to represent graduates from nearly 4 dozen different tribes. Graduates, fans, and tribal members fill the stands of any Sequoyah event, especially for this season's girls basketball. They still haven't lost a game this year.
Just these are my people, you know, and those are my kids, you know. No relation, but they're my kids, you know. We all just kind of adopt them.
It was my team in 2000 that really got the ball rolling towards a great girls basketball program. Now they've been invited to play in Oklahoma's Best of the Best tournament in Tulsa. And tonight, they're going for the win. They're up against the top team in the state of Oklahoma.
Rebound! Oh, block out! One time. Back!
We gave away 8 points. Just get here, have them. But we got to run as hard as we can run. Okay? You shoot like you know they're going to go in. Cassie, if you're open again in the corner, shoot the ball. Let's go get them.
Let's go, ladies.
Doesn't come very often when you get to knock off number 1 team in 6A. Let's go knock them off. Hard work. 1, 2, 3. Hard work.
Cassie, set screen. Just set screen. Yeah!
It was a tough battle, but in this overtime thriller, David beats Goliath. Seeing one girl make herself sick, fighting for the win,
You got to eat.
reminds me that as Indians, sometimes we sacrifice more than we should in order to make it in this world.
We had our own farm. The boys milked the cows. They had horses to work the fields. Boys baked bread because the big bread pans would be very heavy. The little ones did little things too to know that they couldn't play all the time. They'd say, now, what do you want to do when you grow up? Set it in their minds.
It wasn't just the manual labor that was tough on the kids. In order for students to stand a chance, teachers knew they had to discard our American Indian ways of life.
For one thing, if you're going to get ahead in the white man's world, which this is and was, you take care of yourself.
Teachers left nothing to chance. They taught them to raise babies with hands-on experience.
You don't know anything about babies. You've lived in a school. So they would make arrangements to borrow a baby from some Cherokee mother.
Students even got training on how to go on a date.
Unless you've seen your father or mother or friends do it, how do you know? You live in a dormitory. And, you know, nowadays it wouldn't hurt a lot of children that I see to learn things like this.
The students also learned a strong sense of patriotic duty.
When the war was declared, any of the boys who were old enough to go, the school emptied out. And we said to ourselves, when we heard about the Women's Army Auxiliary Corps, the WAC, that sounds like something we ought to do.
We've got a Veterans Monument out here. If you look at that, there are, I believe there's over 400 and some names now of students who went to Sequoyah and who were in the military. There are 22 on there who were killed in action, including Jack Brown's son. A lot of those alumni I've talked to from here, they were very patriotic. Why, I don't know.
I was educated, I was single, I was healthy. I had been taught to be patriotic because at Sequoyah we learned that to whom much is given, much is expected.
In the 80s, the government had begun using the school as a last resort for American Indian youth. If in trouble with the law or public school system, they were sent to Sequoyah.
The first 2 or 3 years I taught at Sequoyah, we had maybe 20 people in the gym for a basketball game, and if the teachers came to a sports event, then we got comp time the next week.
Then budget cuts swept through Indian schools across the country, threatening to shut down Sequoyah.
Sequoyah was scheduled to be closed, and the alumni came to its rescue.
Now, administrators say school standards, finances, and academics are on an upswing. Margaret Fields has seen changes in the fan base firsthand.
We went to the boys at the champion one year. We played in the afternoon, and that director asked me, she says, because we had a good crowd for an afternoon. She said, "Don't these Indians work?" Because we had a good crowd there for an afternoon, and since then they always put us at night because they know the crowd that the Indians is going to bring.
We're now at the end of the season. The Lady Indians are still undefeated. Sports Illustrated ranks the team as among the top 24 in the nation. So we're packing up and headed to the big house in Oklahoma City with a few hundred fans in tow.
See you up there. Thanks, hon.
State tournament. This event being sponsored by State Farm Insurance.
I have Mariah, Angel, Nikki, and Suki. Yeah.
It says Sequoyah #1 in Cherokee in the syllabary.
I tell you what, I'm as nervous as I don't know what right now.
Foul called, and that's all on Collins. That's 5 on her. Collins getting the raspberries from the fans over across the way. 10 seconds to go. Whaley to Harrison, no good, and it's Hello win column, and Hello state title, and Hello undefeated season, and a third gold ball for the Lady Indians.
Winning a three-peat in girls basketball may be trivial to some.
It's your 2007 Class 3A State Championship trophy. There it is, the gold ball.
But for my people, it's a long-awaited victory. Something to show for all the hard work of creating, building, and keeping the school alive for American Indian children. For my people, this is Sequoyah's house. And as long as it's around, we'll always have a place to call home.